It is my honor to welcome and interview Dr. B.G. Satyaprasad sir, founder and director, GT Institute of Management Studies and Research. He has have 12 years of experience with the institution. Welcome to College Dunia, sir. Sir, you have held key positions at educational institutions throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you connected with the educational sector, sir?
Yes, here, in GT Institute of Management Studies and Research, this is my 12th year of directorship. Earlier to this, I was in a aided institution as a professor of commerce for 26 years. For almost 40 years of service that I have got in the teaching profession. The reason for having continued my career with the teaching line is love towards the profession. I enjoy teaching like anything. This is the first love of my life towards the teaching profession or to be in the education field. And the second important factor that I would like to tell you is I have got the greatest satisfaction of rendering the services as a teacher for more than 4 decades, because I have produced many PhDs and I have molded many teachers to become teachers of several government institutions and private institutions. I have produced researchers. I have produced great scholars who can teach IIM and IITs, and they are there throughout the world. The students' community spread across nook and corner of the world, and they respect me too much, and I love them. And I am having also the confidence that I would be completing all my dreams as a teacher to fulfill in the remaining part of my life. That is the reason why I continued my life with teaching profession for the past 4 decades.
Wow. So, sir, being director of GT Institute of Management Studies and Research, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style, sir?
You see, madam, leadership, as to my knowledge is concerned, I was there as a teacher, and certain qualities of leadership I exhibited as a teacher, as a HOD, as a principal, as a director, and even now. And I also held different positions in the association, in Commerce Association, and in Business Schools Management Association, Karnataka State, and even in the Bangalore University. My philosophy towards the leadership is inspire the followers. Who are the followers to you? Your teachers, students, management, and even the people who are approaching to you. For all of them, you see to it that you must give that kind of a leadership, that they should give respect to you from the heart. So inspiration to be given to every segment of what you have associated with, that is the first top priority. That is called as voluntarily able leadership that one can offer. That is what I have practiced, and I am quite successful also.
Well said, sir. So, being the director, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and admission of your school?
Madam, when I joined the college, earlier college, a small, humble Muslim institution, Abbas Khan College for Women, it was only the strength of around 20-25 students were there. When I took the VRS, after getting the Best Teacher Award from Government of Karnataka and stayed there for 3 years, in 2006 I resigned. And in that period, the total college strength was 1,000, only purely girls' college. And here I came to this college in the year 2008, and we formulated the trust, because this trust belongs to my own close friend, Sri S.T. Anand. He is the chairman, and it is a family trust, and these people are taking care of the education system to the greater heights. And for the past 12 years, I am doing the job here. And here also, with a humble 60 MBA strength, I started. And now the total campus is having a school, junior college, degree college, research center, and a postgraduate center for MBA and MCOM. And altogether, 1,600 students are there, and very dedicated students are there, dedicated teachers are there. As a result of that, the strategy for marketing, I don't have any idea to invest huge money on the newspaper or radio or TV or any of these social media or any of the network. Word of mouth is the only strategy that I have.
Okay.
I'm going to give it in the written record. If you are going to satisfy one student, he will bring 10 students to your college. That is the philosophy I have done in 79, and even today the same philosophy, same strategy is working even in GT College, even in 2021. This is what word of mouth, and keep the target group fully accomplished, delighted. Automatically your job of marketing will be taken care.
So, the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. So, in your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institution?
To some extent, we have modernized, we introduced, and with a blend of technology, we are managing the total issues. Some software we have introduced, admission purpose, evaluation purpose, recording purpose, and that is taking care.
So the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. So, in your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institution?
See, the education system to the different countries, I agree what you said. But before that, my worry is the basic worry. Out of my 1,600 students in the campus, only 20 to 25 or maximum 30 students are very serious. They are focused, they are targeted, they are doing extremely good job. They are reading for their own, they taking care of their own welfare, and they have got a vision, everything. I am not worried about 30%. But I'm damn worried about the remaining 60%, 70% people where they are not focused, not having a proper direction, not having goals, not coming to the colleges regularly. So many problems are there all over the country. That is my biggest problem. When before I compare my system to the foreign university system, there in the foreign university system, it is students friendly, parents friendly, and number of students are very less in that in those countries. Whereas in India, it is totally a different structure altogether. More than 75, 80,000 colleges are there. More than 2,000 universities are there, and every year new colleges are going to come, and the syllabus are going to be changed once in 2 years, once in 3 years. This is not the case in case of foreign university. And we cannot all of a sudden convert India's education traditional system to foreign university. It is next to impossible. First of all, we should set it right. The 80% of the people who are not taking the education system of the existing principles rightly and in the need direction. That is my worry. I should answer 80% of the people who are taking the education system casually. They should become very serious. The moment when they become very serious, they understand their roles, then 70% of our job is done. This is what my assessment between the two university system, two university, different countries put together.
Great, sir. Sir, how does the curriculum of your institution ensures the best practice in industry?
See, in India, when compared to all the northern, southern, eastern, western, and central region, Bangalore University, especially when it comes to the point of commerce and management, it is doing extremely well. So many universities, so many universities other than Bangalore University, they have taken away our input of curriculum to introduce the same thing to the respective states and the respective university. In that way, earlier it was once in 10 years, once in 6 years, once in 20 years, the syllabus used to be changed. Now the situation is totally different. All professors and the deans and the chairmen are doing extremely good job. At least once in 2 years, the syllabus is being revised and new subjects are being given. And Bangalore University syllabus is quite fantastic as far as the market is concerned. The market is also highly vibrant. What is happening today, we can't introduce it to a mass education system. In IIM, in IIT, in a tutorial class, in a grooming class, in a mentoring class, that can be done. But in the traditional system of government colleges, private colleges, aided colleges, self-financing colleges, thousands of colleges, millions of students, this system, what we are having in Bangalore is quite ideal, and it can be practiced by other universities as well.
Great, sir. So, any insight into how your college could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic background?
Yeah, madam, as it is, I have already implemented. I am having privilege and pride to tell that we offer scholarship support to the students, and socially backward classes will have mentoring classes, and we will speak to them in the regional language, and we will concentrate on meritorious students, and they will be groomed, they will be trained, they will be placed, and they will be given the privilege to share their personal feelings, social problems, economic problems, and any type of issues that are there with the students in a mentorship, in a counselingship, it is being addressed. And neatly, we are concentrating on that for the past 12 years. And I in this stage, request even the government, the central government and state government, whatever the privilege that is there in the government, let them implement in toto, let them reach the students, and the monetary benefits and subsidies, and deserving colleges and institutions must be given financial support, madam. This is one issue that I would like to tell you. There are so many deserving colleges there in India, and all such colleges must be supported by monetary support and fiscal support and technological support, skill-based support, so that the sustainability can be maintained, and we can do a better job to the students' community.
Great, sir. So, what do you think your roles and responsibility to the college and the students are?
See, madam, for the past 12 years, whatever the university, government of Karnataka, government of India, AICTE, UGC said, we have followed. We have not violated any of the norms, and our college, our institution has not been penalized. Our institution has not been looked down in the academic circle, and we held our privileges, targets, rules, compliances in total, in 100%. And we train the students in such a system which will almost be close to the Gurukula system, concentrating on individual students' identification. Even myself as a director, I will also handpick 20 to 25 students every year. I groom them, I train them, I advise them, I give all my love and affection to them, and I'll see to it that they should come forward in their life. Welfare of the students I have kept in my mind to bring the students' community to the greater heights.
Great. So, what do you think should be the college's top priority over the next 10 years?
Next 10 years, the government, central government and state government should simplify the affiliation process. Corruption-free education system should be introduced. Value-based education system should be practiced. Skill-based education should be practiced. Practical-oriented subjects must be taught in the true spirit. Quality teachers must be recruited. High standards must be kept for the teachers to become the teachers in the respective colleges. And new colleges should not be given at least for another 5 to 10 years, madam. It is already full, and it is not in the spirit of fair growth of the colleges. The new colleges, at least for temporary period, it should be stopped.
Great. So, when you first came to the college, what was your vision for the college and how it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
Madam, I have got the greatest satisfaction of being fulfilled most of my targets. I had the desire in this place that it should have a very neat campus, greenery should be there, lighting, ventilation, cleanliness, hygienity, playground, parks, parking space, world-class infrastructure, and state-of-the-art furniture, and a classroom, and ambience for the teachers to do the research, support to do the research, recognition to the researchers. I improve the teachers' quality through the FDP. All these things I had. And here, even in my college, even today, more than 9 teachers are doing the PhD, and we have on hand around 6. And very recently, about 4 teachers have resigned and gone to the higher positions. So in that way, a small institution with 1,600 students with 70, 80 teachers, when it is doing so much quality services, I feel that I have given a good leadership to this institution. And my vision is, even in the future, I continue to do this. And I have my dream, I should influence my chairman and the family people to establish a university of its class, where people should identify our university in the global market, and they should come and join for various courses as well. But I don't know within this span of a short period that would happen, but I will sincerely try. Corona has also affected very badly to the management to invest further more financial commitment to the sector. This is what I am having at right moment, but I have great hopes that we will definitely move from 1,600 stage to some more thousands of students in the campus.
Great. So what would you like people to know about your college they may not know?
See, madam, in my college, my university, my institute is very simple in character, very simplicity. Simplicity is the slogan of GT. And we don't differentiate too much between the students and the teachers. All teachers, professors are very friendly to the students. Do everything for them 24/7. Anytime any student can contact the teacher, and including me, director, they can take my name, they can take my number, and they can call me any time for any kind of support. And my ultimate goal is keep them happy, keep them delighted. They should be fulfilled with scholarship, good academic input, research support, value-based courses support, skill-based support, mentoring, guidance, placement activity, what we are doing, that should be accelerated much more. This is what I am planning to do for the near future, as well as a current year, as of now, 2021. This is what I would like to tell to the rest of the world. We are very strong in academic, very strong in administration, very strong in research, and we give our life. We give our lives to the students' community, irrespective of caste, creed, and any element. It is a democratic, it is a social causes-oriented institution where entry will be given to every individual human being without considering any other issues at the time of recruitment or at the time of admission to the student. This is what I would like to tell to the world about our college.
Great. So what do you see as GT Institute of Management Studies and Research's greatest strength? What are some of the biggest challenges you see?
Only one principle, madam: quality, simplicity, and a student-centered, student-focused, students-targeted, students-mentored institution.
Okay.
We give every possible support to the students to become all-round citizens of this nation. A girl and a boy who is going out of our compound should be an asset to the nation, should be an asset to the world, should be an asset to the family. That is our target, and we have done it. Except a few cases where nobody could be able to do anything for them, but majority of the students are we have trained them in that spirit.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for GT Institute of Management Studies and Research specifically?
Now in our area, due to the mushrooming of schools and colleges, I am having terrific competition. Competition in fee. I can say fee wars. And number of institutions are increasing every year. And the people who are not having any focus towards education, they are coming to the education field. The people who are having the land, they will come to the education field. The people who are in the politics, they are coming to the education field. After coming to the education field, they will also treat the education system as the profit-making institution and not a social or socio-economic goal-oriented institution. That is my biggest worry. That is my biggest challenge. According to me, out of 100 rupees of every student who pays, minimum 50% to 60% of the fees must be pumped back to the institution itself by leaving the land and building. 60% if you put money back to the college, that institution will go to the sky. World level infrastructure and concentrating on the quality that could be improved. This is what my message to this question regarding the challenges what I have.
Right. So any suggestion would you like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
Definitely. As I said in the earlier, 80% of the students are not focused. My prayer to Goddess Saraswati, my prayer to Goddess Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, to change the mindsets of the 80% of the students who are not focused. Now, in the coming days, the opportunities are many, but those opportunities will come to only to the people who do hard work, who are dedicated, who are having multi-skilling, who are very strong both in mind and body, who are focused, and who understand themselves, their family, their state, their city, their nation, their world. They will only survive. Free cup of tea is not available anymore. They will have to work hard, focused, concentrated too much onto their responsibility of what they are being doing. And if they are concentrating on this, definitely that the 80% will come back to 40% or 30%. Why I am stressing this 20% and 80% is, if you look at the world's eye towards India, everybody will appreciate India for English, for skill, for development, for sincerity, honesty, simplicity, responsibility, dedication, and hard work. To whom they are giving the respect? Only to the 20%. If these 80% of the students are converted into this category, you can imagine where India would go. What will be the respect the India will catch? What kind of recognition we get all over the world? This is what I am focusing on. That 60 to 70% of the students who are not focused, who are not having good focus towards their growth, the youth, those who are not having, they should change their mind. They should come back to the hard work. They should understand their roles. They should understand their responsibilities. They should understand their family affairs, and they should concentrate more on state. They should concentrate more on the nation, and they should become the asset to the country. That is what my message to the youth of this nation.
So, sir, what are some plans that you are currently or will be designing for GT Institute of Management Studies and Research and for students?
We are seriously thinking to go for accreditation. One is NAC accreditation. Number 2 is NBA accreditation. Number 3 is some ISO certification. Number 4 is 2F and 12B, and I have to take the research center. And I should see to it that the small, humble college should rise up to the level of international standard, and we should do justice to what we are doing. And I should also have an environment of this structure to continue, that everybody given the opportunity should be capable of excelling himself or herself in this college as long as they are staying in the campus. Whether he is a boy, girl, or a cricketer, or a kabaddi player, or a student, or a teacher, or a professor, or a researcher, or anybody for that matter, even non-teaching staff. When he is doing the job in our campus, the opportunity must be given to him or her to excel in his work. He should get extraordinary recognition and extraordinary performance to his credit. He should vertically grow. This is what my appeal to the question what you have raised to me.
So how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your institution, sir?
By giving good leadership, counseling, freedom to the employees, freedom to the children, and guide them, groom them, make them understand their roles, and apply the Gurukula system. Give your love and affection to the students' community. Give your love and affection to the teachers. Don't use the powers to control the employees. Don't use the authority to control the students. Take them in the right direction. Take all the students in one go. Appeal to them several times. Change their mindset and see to it that they should come as a follower to you. That kind of a leadership that you have to give. By authority, by discipline, by giving the messages, by giving the memos, by suspending, by terminating, answer will not be there to any of the problems. You have to give such an environment to the employees, such an environment to the teachers, such an environment to the parents, such an environment to the management, that everybody should go as a family member, and they should love to come to the college. They should run to the college. That should be the place where the institution will be called as a temple of learning. So the boys and girls should run to the college. Teachers should run to the college to groom them. I should come and stay here from morning to evening without making any kind of strain and stress. I should be ready to teach even more than 7 hours a day. I should be capable of answering any question, what the students are going to ask, whether it is administrative related or academic related. I should impart my education. I should impart my support to them. And I should take entire 1,600 students and their families in one go. And that should be the answer that I would like to give it to the healthy environment creation at GT Institute of Management Studies.
Great, sir. So thank you for your time and insightful thought on education, sir. It gave us a broad picture about what students can expect from the college and the course, also what is expected from the students to join GT Institute of Management and Research. So wishing you a great year ahead, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your wonderful time.